Oh, no way! Get out. It's not fair. I don't know why. It's not fair. It's because you're doing it through the oh no, what does that do? You've been playing while I've been away, Gary. It's good. It's good to see you all. I'm so glad to be back. God, it's been a long time. It's been 2 weeks, isn't it? I've not been around for nearly 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks?
It must be nearly that.
Well, so much has been going on. I'm not even going to repeat it because I've got PTSD with all of it. So I'm not even going to go there. Just move on. So let's see who's joining us this evening. We've got Pia, top of the shop. Evening all. Good to have Lindsay back. Does anyone know about our friends in the US? Are they okay? From the people that we put a post up in the Phoenix group, and from the people that I've heard from, they're okay. The one that was in the closest sort of eye of the storm was Rainey Chadwell. She's our second year HMB pro in South Carolina, and she sent us a few pictures. She's in contact with us. Her son can't get to school. Her husband can't get to his work. There are trees down. They can't get to see their parents because they're a couple of hours away, and the highways, some of the highways are down. It's a mess.
One of them, okay. The highway was actually a river.
Yeah, but they're okay, but it's devastation. So our hearts go out to everybody over there, of course, and in all the other awful things that happen, such as the wildfires, etc. It's just dreadful. Joe is here. Welcome back. We missed you. I missed you too. Hello from Pennsylvania, USA. So happy Lindsay's back with us. They love you too, Gary. They do. They do love you too.
They just love it when I bring guests on.
Yeah. I was listening when you had, especially when you had Ash on the other night. I think I missed a couple of the others, but I was listening when you had Ash on. Oh no, I caught a bit of it when you had Lisa on. That was fun. Charlie Brown's here. Hello. I gather you're okay. That's good to hear. And Melanie is okay. Aston's here from South Africa. Hi. Hello. Melanie says, Pierre, I think the southern states are in much disarray. Here it's very wet, but nothing like what they got. I'd love to try and get supplies to anyone who needs it. Bless your heart, Melanie. Melanie McCrow, hello from
Norwich.
That's it. There you go. Well done. That isn't there. Norwich is an acronym.
Pardon?
Norwich is an acronym.
Is it rude?
Yes.
Move on.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Go on.
Nick us off ready when I come home. That's apparently what Norwich stands for. You didn't hear me say that. I didn't say that. I learned that when I was little. That was probably something that I used to hear my dad say. Not to me, obviously, but to no, and I don't even said it. Anyway, whatever. Move on. Sarah Lou. Hi, everyone. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Water. Ingrid Page says, hello from wet Northern Virginia. Only got the outer bands of Helene. No flooding, but plenty of rain now. Gosh, you guys. Hello, everyone. Says Dawn from Wales. Hi, Julie Dawn. Bradbury. Hello, everyone. Hi from everyone from Two Screens in Scotland.
Hi, Dave.
Great post, Julie, by the way, today. Tracy Gray's here. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Janet Welsh is here. Evening all, says Janet. From Spain, aren't you, and Janet? I think. Vicky Ware. Good morning, everyone from Australia. Good morning. And just while you remind me about Australia, the booking should be going up tomorrow. So you can all start booking. And it is first come, first served for our trip to New Zealand and Australia. One in the South Island, one in the North Island of New Zealand. And the other two are just northwest of Melbourne. And we're staying in the same place because we're getting legs from one specific place and we can't travel. And the legs are a good couple of hours away. So we are going to be northwest of Melbourne in a place called... Gary, can you remember?
Can't remember.
Hang on. I will tell you. Hang on one moment. In a place called Gisborne. 20 minutes north of Sunbury, 20 minutes south of Macedon. Looks like there will be camping facilities available, but just so that you know, first come, first served. So as soon as the booking's up, if you want to come, get booked. Marianne Wilson, busy working this afternoon, but listening in to all, especially to our USA friends. Yeah. We're all with you guys. Meta's here. Good evening, all. Good evening, all. Maggie Thrussell's here. Hi, everyone. Jackie Kennedy. Good evening, all, and welcome back, Lindsay. Thank you very much. Looking forward to meeting you. It is Jackie we're meeting, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
It is.
It is Jackie.
From Lanzarote to Scotland.
Yes. Alison Franks is here. Evening, everyone. Another wet day. Yeah, it's been on and off here. It's not quite worked out what it wants to do. Leah's here. Hello, everyone, says Leah.
Hiya.
Angie Medler, hello from Central Virginia. You're okay, I gather. You're fine as well. A bit wet. Sarah Lou, hi, guys, she says. Therese is here. Hello from a sunny Sweden. Well, now it's dark from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. So we're going the other way now. We were light all night, and now we're going to get darkness. So at least you'll be able to sleep now. Lovely sleepies. Becky Taylor Harding. Oh, why have we added in the Taylor? Is that our Becky Harding?
It must be.
I like the Taylor. It adds a sort of double barrel sort of poshness to it, Becky. That's it now. You're going to be called Taylor Harding from now on. Dawn says, hi, Lindsay and Gary. Great to have you back, Lindsay. I'm glad to be back. Evening, everyone, says Angela from Southern France. Bonsoir. Welcome back, Lindsay. Laura Shillam is here. Hi from Washington State. How did you're way up out of the way, aren't you? You're right over the other side. So you should be, guys. We love you, Gary and Asha.
That's because we get up to mischief. We're not good for each other, actually. We're really not, because we get up to mischief.
I didn't know that, says Man. Didn't know what. What did we know? Dawn says, just have to thank you, Gary, for your voice messages helping me with my boy. It's so precious, and I will let you know what the scan says on Wednesday. Yes, sorry, because I know that you've messaged me a couple of times, and I've been very bad at getting back to people. My message list is like that. And I'm like, oh. And some mornings I wake up and look at it and go, nope, run in the other direction. I try not to. I try very hard not to. Jackie Kennedy says it's freezing. Is it? Oh, look.
Oh, there's the lesser spotted Asher.
I'm in my pajamas. What did he say?
He said it's the lesser spotted Asher. She's in her pajamas, hopefully cooking my dinner. Ramona's here. Hello from Spain. Hello, Ramona. Lovely post you put up the other day. If anybody's not seen it, all in German. Laura says sunny fall day in Washington. Becky says, yes, that's me in the process of fishing. Ooh, so posh. Honestly, it's very posh. Well done, you, Taylor Harding. Dawn, hi, Asha, she says. Melanie says, I was just going to remind Lindsay if you could look at my message, but you're so busy, I hate to keep bothering you. It's okay. I'm getting through them now. I'm working my way through the messages. And sometimes, you see, I look at the messages because you might see that I've read them. Just so that everybody knows, if you've sent me a message and you see that I've read them, I'm not ignoring you. It's just that I'm probably on my phone and I know that I need to give a decent reply back, and I don't want to do it by going tap, 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 tap. So I want to give a voice reply, and I'm either with my family, or I'm in a car, or I'm on a bus or a train or a plane, and I just can't. So if you see that I've read a message and I've not responded, I am not ignoring you. It's just where I am at that moment in time has not enabled me to answer because I'm not going to type. It will take me forever. Jackie Kennedy says, not cold here, but it will be in Aberdeen. Yes.
You can keep it warm in Lanzarote for me mid-January. That's what you can do.
Warm and windy. Joe's here. Welcome back, Lindsay. Thank you, Joe. And lovely posts you put up recently. I have spotted those. Very good. You're doing such an awesome job. So here we are. Back again, Gary, you and me, the old crew.
We're like old bookends, aren't we?
Old bookends. Old bookends. That's like in Bagpuss, isn't it? With the bookends. God, I used to love Bagpuss. Anybody else remember Bagpuss? I don't know if Bagpuss was just a UK thing. But Tim can recite the entire Bagpuss, practically this entire script, and recite the entire, you know, all the words leading up to it. And I can't. Oh, can you hear Ash crashing? It's all right.
Just
So,
checking.
what are we going to do today? What are we going to look at? I think there's a couple of things I want to look at on the Phoenix group. But if you guys have anything you want to bring up, please do. Did you all see the little video that we put up today of the foot that we talked about a few lives ago, but we said we were going to put up another video with the outside and the inside. Put that up today. That's had a huge response. That's been seen by lots and lots of people. I've managed to get that up on YouTube as well. Becky says, no middle name, so took my mum's maiden name as my middle name. Girl power. Yes. My granny's name was Evelyn Eliza Lycett. I love that name, Evelyn Eliza Lycett. And I always wanted to be known as Lindsay Lycett. I didn't want Lindsay Setchell. I wanted Lindsay Lycett. Because my maiden name is Watts. And, you know, bless my dad and everything, but it's not the most glorious of surnames. And I used to get ribbed something chronic at school. You can imagine it, with every electric bulb joke going. Or, you know.
And you think Setchell's a glorious surname?
Setchell's not necessarily glorious. Ash is going, and you think Setchell's a glorious surname? No, because it sounds like sexual, which in, you know, you could see
when you're in a classroom full of like teenage boys, it's very funny.
It wasn't. And Lycett, Lindsay Lycett. And I always thought if I wrote books, it would be my pseudonym. I would be Lindsay Lycett. That would be my pseudonym. Just thought I'd tell you that. Becky says, loved Bagpuss. Oh, look! Professor Yaffle was a carved wooden bookend. See, he could honestly, if we got him on now, he could recite the entire start of Bagpuss. Can't you, Timmy? Mental. Jackie Kennedy, we would love to take you a plus every single advert from probably, if he went on Mastermind, he could do every advert from probably 1975 forward. And all the lyrics. Well, not that you wouldn't call them lyrics, would you? Words to every advert or song. You know it, Gary, because he's forever doing it, isn't he? He's forever.
Yes, and some of them I don't remember, but some of them I do, and some of them I remember as well.
It's his party piece. He's very
It is.
clever at it. We would love to take you and your family out for lunch, Gary. Oh, that's nice. Oh, lovely.
It's a date.
It's a date. It's a date. Of a woodpecker. Professor Yaffu was a carved wooden bookend in the shape of a woodpecker. All right, stop now. Stop now. Becky Taylor Harding, do it. Become Lindsay Lycett. Hi, Ash, says Jackie. Jackie says hi, Ash. She says hi back. Love Bagpuss. I bet everybody else in the rest of the world's going, what are you talking about? What the hell is Bagpuss?
Well, they have to look it up. Google
Can
it.
he do the clangers? Yes. He could do
Yes.
all of them.
Yes.
He could pretty much do all of them. A magic roundabout. Oh god, there's so many, isn't there?
Cool.
His favorite, I think one of his favorite children's programs was Mr. Ben. Was he called Mr. Ben? When he used to go and get changed in the changing room and then go off
into something.
Yeah, Mr. Ben. I think that was his favorite. My last name was Torture with grade school boys. Butcher. They called me Bookanour. Bookhour. You don't say the CH. Bookhour. They called me Bookanour. The world's cheapest call girl. No. People are so mean. So mean.
Children
Hinton.
are mean.
Hinton. Just you got hinty, I suppose.
When you were talking about your grandmother, my grandmother was Gladys Pugh.
No.
Her maiden name was Pugh. So my grandmother was the original Gladys Pugh. Heidi High.
Heidi High. Does anybody remember Heidi High? Again, sorry if you're not in
Again,
the
sorry
UK.
for everybody else that doesn't live in the UK or is anything younger than 30.
Oh, Heidi, probably younger than 50 actually. Heidi High.
Perhaps.
Anne says, hi everyone. Hi Anne. Becky Taylor Harding says the clumps. The clumps.
I remember the clumps,
don't know if
but
I
I can't picture them right now.
I don't know if I remember the clumps. I don't know. Flumps. I was going to say.
The flumps, yes.
I remember the flumps, but not the clumps. We're clumps.
My family used to call me Joe 90. I can't tell why.
Oh God, Gary, we have to find and show everybody effect. Where are you going? Show you.
I'm lowering my desk.
Ball again. Oh God.
I got fed up with standing up.
So Gary, you can see the screen going down. Gary,
I'll find the picture.
We've got photos of Gary as a kid. Do you remember the Milky Bar kid? Do you remember the Milky Bar? If you'd have put a little Stetson on Gary.
My mum actually entered me for the Milky Bar kid, but I didn't get it.
Oh God, he was the Milky Bar kid. Again, I don't think you probably would have had that anywhere else than in the UK, but definitely, yeah. Oh my God, says Dawn the Claggers. Yes, Mr. Ben. Yes. Into the wardrobe. Mr. Ben was great. In fact, when Tim goes on holiday, he collects things and he said, these are my little Mr. Bens. Meaning, you know, because Mr. Ben used to bring back a little souvenir of wherever he'd been. So he brings back his little Mr. Ben's. Hello from Australia, says Jenny Cox. Been missing a few lives during the winter and watching them in the afternoon. Well, I'm glad you're catching up and watching them. That's fabulous. Wonderful. Good to hear, Jenny. Anne Mitchell says the Pipkins.
No, I don't remember them.
Hartley Hare. He was terrifying. I'm going to find Hartley Hare. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to find Hartley Hare. Literally the most terrifying bloody thing you've ever seen in your life. Hartley Hare. This is Hartley Hare being naughty. Wait. Wait. I'm going to share it. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Oh my God, I've forgotten how to run this bloody thing. Hold on. Present. Share screen. Hartley Hare. He was a Pipkin, wasn't he? I'm getting the right ones, aren't I? Can you see him? It's bloody terrifying. This was a children's. Do you remember him? Do you remember him? Tell me if you can hear him or not.
Yeah.
My name is Hartley Hare, and today I'm going to talk to you about being naughty. Oh, hello. I've just been to the toy shop, and you know what I bought? Should I show you? Here it is. It's a glove puppet. And you know, you can do all sorts of things with a glove puppet.
No, we're stopping right there, Hartley. You are a
and
weird. That's honestly, if you want to see the rest of that, you have to go and watch Hartley Hare. Is the most scary, rudest glove puppet you've ever seen in your life. Hartley Hare. Oh no, what are we going to see? Oh. Do you see what I mean about the Milky Bar kid?
Milky Bar kid or Joe 90.
Oh my God, you would have been so cool at the Milky Bar kid. Hang on a minute, let's just find the Milky Bar kid. What are we doing? We're meant to be talking about horses.
It's meant to be sensible.
This is the Milky Bar kid, right? Hold on. Oh. Hang on. Let's just play this. This is meant to be sensible, but this is the Milky Bar kid. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's the Milky Bar Kid.
The Milky Bar Kid is strong and tough, and only the best is good enough. It's milk, the whitest bar, the goodness that's in
Milky Bar.
The Milky Bars are on me.
You were the Milky Bar kid. That's so funny. Oh dear, we're just down memory lane here. Sorry about that. Jackie says, yes, I do remember it. Vanya says, hi everyone. Hi Vanya. Becky says, pew pew, Barney McGrew. Pew pew, Barney McGrew, Dibble and Grub.
Dibble and Grub.
Yeah, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub. Pew pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub. That was Trumpton. Bloody
Banana
love
Splits.
Trumpton. Oh my God, the Banana Splits. I can hear that tune right now. Sorry, we're going to stop this any moment now and we'll be on Hoof.
Now what's come to me is Wacky Races.
Wacky Races. Oh, I love Wacky Races. God, I love Wacky Races. Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub. Oh my God, the Banana Splits. Now I'm singing the tune from the Milky Market. Oh my God, I love the pig and the pig. The pig is from Birmingham, wasn't he? The pig is Hartley. All right, Hartley Hare. Right, so I'm the pig. What was the pig called? What the hell was the pig called? But he had a Birmingham accent, and he talked like this. And then they had Octavia, who was a bird. I forgot. He was so creepy. He's so creepy. He was so creepy. Angie's like, wow, they were weird in the UK.
And they put that
I just I just peed a little. I know, right? He's hideous. That was Hartley Hare. And I was a little tiny child watching Hartley Hare. Hartley Hare. Hartley Hare. That's how he spoke. Oh my God. That stuff of nightmares like Watership Down. I never watched Watership Down. Not.
Oh, I did. Brilliant film.
No. No, it's about dying rabbits. I'm never going to watch
Very
that.
sad.
More scary than Doctor Who. He was. Mind you, Doctor Who was pretty scary. The Milky Bar Kid. Love listening to you guys. You make so much sense from New Zealand.
I don't think we did tonight.
Sorry, Karen. Oh, adorable, Gary. Who sang along? We all did. We all sang along. The Milky Bar Kid is strong. What did you say? Strong and great. The Milky Bars are on me. Right, we get back to business. Let's get back to business. The goodness in Milky Bar, you wouldn't be able to say that now. No. Okay, I think we've got to get on now. Right, hello from Ohio. A couple of weeks ago, I asked when you could start to see improvement if switching to a hay that did not include rye. For us, the answer is 15 days before the first sign of improvement, and we are now on day 21, and she is walking without boots for the first time since March. Yes. Hang on a minute. Where's it gone? Hopefully we continue to improve as she is still a little sore on the front left, but I am so happy to finally see measurable improvement, period. I just needed to be more patient. Patience. Oh, it really is a virtue. You gotta be patient. Well done, Erin. Keep strong. Keep going through it. Takes them a long time to go down that road, down that hill, and it's a bit of a journey back up the hill, but you can do it. You just as you're going up the hill, you don't get sidetracked and end up sliding back down again. You just keep going up. When it gets steep, get your crampons on. You'll do it. You can. Wacky Races was my favorite. I loved Wacky Races. Okay, so shall we go into the Phoenix group and have a look what we've got in there? Right, let me see if I can find it first of all. Right, it's there. Okay. Present arms. There we go. 9.8 thousand members. We slowed down a little bit recently, though. Did you notice we had a little bit of a lull?
That's because you're not allowed to take a fortnight off.
Oh.
Not that it was a fortnight off, but it wasn't a lot.
Bloody fortnight of hell.
A little bit of it was.
A little bit of it was. Okay.
To get over it all.
I know, right? Okay, let's whiz down a few. So I want to get to Patty's because I've been promising Patty I'd respond to her for ages and I haven't. So I thought a good way to do that is on the live tonight. Ellen Laverato says, what does it mean when the heels start coming back? Let's just make that a bit bigger. What does it mean when the heels start coming back and down, but the waxy band is starting to run underneath the hoof? Fact that you've had no responses is probably because I'm not entirely sure what she means.
I'm not quite sure what you mean. And can you expand and provide photos? That would be marvelous.
Yes. Photos, please. I'm going to put that. Photos, please, Ellen. That would help. There we go. I'll give her a little like. Gemma Nichols says, any advice on how to get a hoof boot on a horse that's reluctant to pick up their feet as they are sore? Best pictures I can get, and she won't let me touch herself. Normally I can just tap a leg and she'd pick up. Well, if that's gosh, that looks, we look like we've got some problems there, haven't we? We've got major overgrown bars. And that looks to me like that hoof wall is dipping away. Is that to you too, at the toe there?
It does look like it, but
It's a lot of
it's really
chunky
difficult
material.
to see because we're not seeing a whole picture there.
No, we're on straw.
I'm wondering whether there's a bulge in front of that frog.
Yeah, we've got chunky.
We need more pictures. Need more pictures and need more. Need more.
And I know that's difficult because I absolutely get that. It's so hard when a horse is not standing because they can't, because they're so sore.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit more, Gemma. I gather from looking at that, it looks like your horse is being kept in. Let's see what Maggie's been in there. Let's see what. Let's go to all comments so we can see. Stop it. Behave. Could you provide some kind of cushioning for her to stand on when she picks her foot up standing? Yep, that's good job. She's standing on a bed made from rubber matting. The sawdust and straw on top is massive. I think it sounds to me like she's probably abscessing. Would you say, Gary? Or she's got P3 that is
getting close.
Incredibly
from the images that I get that you've struggled to take those images, and we do appreciate it, but we can't see enough. It's either that there's the sole is bulging, therefore this potentially P3 is a bit close, or she's abscessing, but we can't really say for sure from those images.
No, so we need a little bit more information to help you, Gemma, if you can. And if the admins, anybody watching, like Taylor Harding, I'm just going to be saying that forever now. If you could just pop in and just mention to these people that we have briefly mentioned them in the live, that would be great. Okay, that's us.
Apparently, she has posted previous pictures, so it might be worth doing a search on her.
Okay, if I just click on her name, what happens?
Yeah, you should.
Oh, that's a beautiful dress. That's you, Gemma. That's absolutely beautiful. Let's go back. It's probably is. I don't know. Right, Gemma Nichols. Oh, there's my face. No. Oh, look, I'm absolutely crap at doing this. I'm so bad. Right, go to members. And then in here. No, just click on her. It just goes down. Oh, I see. You just have to scroll down. Does anyone have any advice on hoof boots need pairing? Get on quickly. Ah, yes. Look at this. I can see we've got issues. Oh gosh, yes, I remember this post. Shoes are off. My farrow is currently away, and the dear farrow that came to my rescue, she is out in her pen for the next few days. Gaffer tape around the edge of the bottom of her hoof, moving a little bit more comfortable. She had a tough stone crossing to get to her pen. Any advice on how can transition to barefoot? Currently, she has rotation on both front. On vet's advice, her toes were cut back and a heart bar fitted with pads and putty. She was fully box rest for 2 or more months. God. She was pretty crippled. She had trims, files every week with x-rays. In a bid to help the rotation, she was on a painkiller tablet. She's on the pink cushion tablet now. She's well, that certainly ain't going to fix the hoof care. She's an older girl with a pre-existing back issue. I'm not surprised, due to being hit by a car at 5 years old. Hell. So box rest, put her back and pelvis out. She wasn't able to walk. Goodness me. Made the decision to create a small outside pen. Very good. Not in the vet's advice. They still keep... No, don't keep her on box rest. Apart from anything else, it will be doing her mind in. She improved in her hoof growth and joints. They want you to go on box rest because they're fearful of P3, which is here, look, of moving more. But it doesn't move, right? It's the hoof care that's doing that, or the crap hoof care, or leaving the heels to grow, etc., etc. On the last ferry visit, he swapped her to a full shoe and she's been more comfortable. I've read the files, but it's so hard to really know what to do now to help her. As the vet has said, she can't be without the shoes. And so, you see, this is the big problem, right? This bit, as the vet has said, people are so fearful they can't go against that. And it's such a shame, isn't it? And I totally get it. I totally understand. I totally understand how hard it is. But they're getting it wrong, guys. They're telling you the wrong stuff. And the farrier and the vet are as confused as the poor hoof capsule is. Luckily, we have vets now that are coming through on the Phoenix way, that are understanding and are putting this into practice and are getting it and beginning to understand and learn and realize that they didn't know a lot about the hoof capsule. They blamed it on everything else happening inside and didn't even really believe it could be as simple as just getting the trim right. It is rather shocking. I also feel by submerging it in the putty and leather, it can be breather and strength. I've tried her barefoot when she was younger, and I first owned her, but she ended up with bruised soles and ate the hoof boots. Yeah, you see, because it's not just about just taking the shoes off to go barefoot. You see, there's so much more involved in it, and obviously leaving it longer and longer and longer, and then the problems with the trim. She's now in a desperate situation. I don't have x-rays. I don't have the last x-rays, and we'll try to get hold of them. Is there in their own way, these are better feet than she had? I just don't know. Right, let's have a look at these. Did you look at these, Gary?
I think I've seen them.
Oh, God.
And by the way, Gemma's watching.
Oh, hi, Gemma. Hi, darling. Okay, so Gemma, what they're doing here is you have got about... Can you see me?
Yeah.
You see me, can't you? Let me go back to it. You've got about that much at the top of the hoof that's left, and the rest of it, they've just chopped it off. Well, they haven't chopped it, but they've rasped it like hell. So much so that you can see that this feathers out. So all you've got left now to keep it in line with the hoof pastern axis, to get it in line, is that you've now got lamina exposed, right? The epidermal lamina is what you can see, which is why you can see it, which of course is going to let in infection. You can see here these awful big holes, which is made worse by the shoes, the nail holes. So it's a mess. It's a mess. And what are they trying to do, Gemma? They're trying to make the foot look normal. Meanwhile, inside, P3 is going on its I was going to say going on its own merry way. Then I better not say that, because it's not doing that. Whereas P3, because they're trying to make the hoof capsule look normal, is not in its normal position inside. It's in a mess. But this is what confuses people, because they don't believe that P3 is still attached to the hoof capsule. Can't possibly be, right? They've been told over and over again that lamina is stretched by inflammation caused by 101 other things, diet being the gut being the main issue. And because of that, they're then trying to tame the hoof capsule to make it look better. and then when they x-ray it and see P3 rotated, they can't believe. They're like, oh my God, yeah, she's really got laminitis, that stretched lamina. But what they're doing is they're causing it. Because P3 can't move independently, no matter what they tell you, Gemma, it can't. So that's the 2 photographs we get there. I think we must have some x-rays. Here we go. Oh, look, there's the pony. She says, my mare has had rotation and collapsed sole. That's an interesting term. I'm assuming that's what they've told you that she's got. In natural fact, she's got P3 that's penetrating or pushing down, and they've taken so much hoof wall away. There's nothing more to cover P3. This group was a good place suggested to start. She does currently have her shoes on. I'm willing to try anything to help her recover. She's an older mare, 20. It's not that old. In the great scheme of things, 20 is not old. Don't be thinking you've got an old crop there. You haven't. I don't even know where to start to help. I'm sure you don't, my lovely. I hope this group has helped so far. Diet soaked hay, molasses free, happy hoof. Right. No. Not that one. With added biotin, don't need it. It's part of the B12 complex, B vitamin complex. And so the microbes in a nice balanced gut will produce plenty of biotin. Don't need to add it extra. Hay cobs in a treat ball, doesn't need that at all. Just hay. And don't really need to be soaked either. But you need rye free. On Butte, need to go and get devil's claw. And all of this you're trying to do, right? As the owner, to try and do your bit. And still, things are not going right. And that's because the vet and the farrier, who are misunderstanding what's going on with the hoof capsule, are telling you that they can't stop this free fall that's happening. P3 is rotating more and more. They can't stop it. And you're trying everything and it's a free fall, and we get her on drugs and we give her Bute. Oh my God, until eventually they go, we can't deal with it anymore. And the horse gets put to sleep. And yet actually what's happening here is they have completely misread the hoof capsule, because they disregard the hoof capsule. They have no respect for the hoof capsule because they don't think the hoof capsule is a problem. And they ignore it. And it's the hoof capsule that's the issue. Currently on box rest. Previously, she had a few days in a bare paddock, a day in a stripped graze paddock. And when she felt like it, she jumps the electric fence and goes into the grass. Currently wrapped with clay to raise her heels. Whoa. No.
Hopefully a lot of that has been rectified, because this was back in May.
Okay. I'm sure it has. Hello, little lovely.
So yes, with those x-rays, the last thing you want to do is to be raising heels.
Let me out, mama. Okay. Let's go and look at that x-ray. All right. So what you have here is, you see this little junction here. So you've got a little bit of a tiny little bit there of extra bone that really shouldn't be there. You do have little I'm just trying to think of the right word. Little areas on and around the bone where the ligaments and the tendons attached to, but they shouldn't be as prominent as that. So that's kind of showing you that this horse has been having issues with the soft tissues in the foot because of balance issues. It's not the end of the world, that, however. But here you can see this is where the coronary band, and it always bisects this area here, basically, as it comes through and then comes on down. And just a little bit above here, but above the navicular bone. But you can see here, as P2 comes down, you can see where P3 should be, right, running parallel with the hoof wall. So and here's your coronary groove here. Everybody can see that, I'm sure. Just this line here, and that's the shoulder of the coronary groove, and it just changes and turns. And then this comes down here, And as it's coming down, you can see it's getting overly thinned here. And then they put this marker down as if that is the true front, the true front of the hoof wall. Isn't, because if they hadn't rasped all this off, and you can see the laminae there, if they hadn't rasped it off, what would actually be happening? This is all smooth. You can see the rings here because they've rasped it off. Actually, what you'd see is that if they'd left it, because of the amount of separation, right? But because they're trying to make this all look like a neat hoof, in order to try and attempt to even get the top inch in line with the hoof pastern axis, they've got to keep rasping this off. Meanwhile, they allow these heels to come up, but they don't even have to come up a lot. They just need to be above the hard sole plane, even a small amount. And then that, coupled with the fact that they've now lost their balance point along here, so they've over thinned the bottom of the sole, is not your horse's fault. This is not a horse's foot, as every single foot that we see like this, where you've got this, and this is the problem, because the vets look at this and they don't understand what they're looking at, because they're not hoof capsule experts. They look at the bones. They think this hoof capsule is normal. They think that that's fine. The heels aren't particularly too high, and the hoof wall's in line with the hoof pastern axis, so all's good. But it isn't. There's actually not enough here. There's just not enough to cover P3. So this is entirely a hoof care problem. This is not your problem. This is not something you've caused. Has she been having dietary issues? Potentially, possibly, yes. But has that caused this disorientation of P3 becoming hyperpositive? No. Has it overthinned the sole? No. Has P3 sunk down in the capsule? No. Look at the coronary groove. It's exactly where it needs to be. When they see that there's a between the top of the extensor process and the coronary band, they see it widening, getting longer. They're like, oh, it's the horse sinking, it's the bone sink. No, it isn't. It's just this rotating around the dip joint, around the distal interphalangeal joint. If you brought P3 back to its ordinary position by, of course, lowering those heels, P3 would immediately be in a better position, but the hoof wall would be out there. Of course, they don't want that to happen because they don't like the look of it. She would be a hell of a lot more comfortable. And then this distance shortens again. It's not sinking. It's not going anywhere. It's the hoof capsule that's being manipulated to look normal, and thereby not covering enough, taking too much sole away, not having the right balance. And yet you x-ray this foot and the vets go, oh yeah, laminitis, look, oh now, and then all hell's let loose. Box resting, starving, changing the diet, putting on the drugs, trying every shoe going, and eventually until they've basically got a shoe on that looks like a boot, because they've completely covered the sole. You just take the bloody shoe off and put a boot on, but trim it properly. Leave the front of the foot alone. Let it create foot to cover P3. Create sole. Then you wouldn't have that, what did you call it? Collapsed sole. It's not your horse that's causing that. The horse doesn't suddenly get a collapsed sole. Mother Nature's not that crap at her job. She's good at her job. It's just that everybody else comes and interferes. So do you know what you need to do truly is, if you've still got the same people dealing with this horse, your horse, as you had before, you need to move on and find somebody else who knows what they're doing. I don't know where you live, Gemma. Maybe you could let us know. Yeah, bright green. It's a bit of an issue. But this lovely girl here is at the mercy of all the people that have been fiddling about with her feet and misunderstanding what's been going on. And you, being an owner, have also been gone down a merry dance with them as well. So yeah, it's hoof care that's the problem there. Okay, let me go back to here. Oh, Gemma's there. I see it. Let me just stop that a minute. Stop. Oh, I should know something. I've forgotten how to run this thing now. It's been so long. She posted the X-rays in May. I'm watching. Hello, darling. I made the decision to get the shoe off. She is, yeah. Oh dear, says Bethan. Hello, lovely. Oh my goodness, your poor horse. Yeah. Yes, that's what they said. Collapso. It's not. I love the fact, Gemma, that they throw either you under the bus or the horse under the bus. Never themselves. It's never that. Oh no, they didn't do it. What do you mean they didn't do it? No, they didn't do it. Ooh, drives us mad, doesn't it, Gary?
Just a bit.
You're totally in the right place to help your girl, Gemma, says Jackie. These pics and X-rays are from May, 4 months ago. Are there updates? Finally, shoe straw was finally it ripped her hoof off. So took them off. Farrier agreed. Okay, so they were coming off, right? Is there anything I can give to my boy to help him with his arthritic hocks? He's in a lot of discomfort and lifting his front legs up for any length of time is painful for him. Have you tried? Are you on turmeric? That's pretty good, but you need to be on it for constantly. And I can't tell you dosages, but Gary probably could. Gary's the best person to speak to about all of that sort of thing, which I think you're speaking to anyway. And just movement, gentle movement, like he's doing. And he'll have inflammation in there, but it'll settle down. The thing is with hocks, once they've fused and once they're starting, because they're starting to fuse, I've seen the X-rays. Once they've fused, then it actually gives them quite a bit of relief. But there'll be no more dressage for him in the future, I'm afraid. But he should get to a point where he's not in that amount of pain going forward. But you're doing all the right things. This is not a quick fix, Dawn. Gemma says, I'm in Essex. Harlow Farrier has said that he will help and no more shoes. Is this the same farrier that was shoeing him before? Because it's that farrier that's put your horse into this position. Oh, Gary's gone. So let us know, Gemma. If you're in Essex, in Harlow, we've got some lovely HMB pros around there that can help you. Okay. And my strong suggestion is that you move away from everybody that's been leading your horse to this point now and go and get somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to the hoof capsule, because this is about hoof capsule rehabilitation. And it's the one thing that just gets ignored and gets shaped to look normal. And of course, the vet, not being hoof capsule experts, like I just said, they don't understand. They don't understand because they've been told over and over and over again, he's back, over and over and over again, hello, that it's it's P3 that's doing it. But when you become a hoof capsule expert, you understand about growth and you understand growth rates, you understand how hoof capsules grow. Honestly, isn't it, Gary? It's bloody predictable.
Oh, it is so predictable. But it's so hard to see when you've got this far down the rabbit hole. And I get that. I really do. One of, do you remember Sue with Alan? He had the imprint shoes on, and your horse's feet remind me of Alan's quite a lot. And one of our students, Laura, went to see Alan at the weekend.
All right. How did that go?
Really well, really well. He is, I don't know whether you saw the video, but he was actually, with his boots on, he went out onto his all-purpose new track, and he started jumping and squealing and having a hoolie. And obviously he still hasn't got hoof wall, but where he had this, shall we call it a collapsed sole? It's not a collapsed sole, but there was this big bump of callus right in front of P3, and that's got even bigger, and he's even more comfortable. And we're hoping in the next day or two to actually give him some time out of boots. He is doing so well.
That's amazing. So well. And this is a person, let me remind you, everybody, who was having imprint shoes put on every 4 weeks, Gary?
Every 4 weeks, and having them x-rayed so he could trim to the doing a realignment trim.
And they've been having the imprint shoes on for about a year, and it's been going on for about more than 18 months.
Yeah.
And within 2 trims, we've already got that horse far more comfortable than he's been in forever since all this began. Where's the video?
What of so I'll find it while we're talking. But Gemma, our second-year student that is helping Alan along with me, and I have to say, I'm probably going to go to Alan one more time just to look over things, and then I'm going to leave our second-year student to it. You are in Essex. Laura is an hour away from you. You need to talk to Laura.
Okay, let's just have a little look-see here. So we know how to use our map. The map is in the group so that you know. So if you click on the link, this is what you'll get. So this map shows our pros and our second-year students. It hasn't got all our first-year students on, otherwise the map would be, I don't think it has, not this one. No, it does, but not, no, there's a load more than that. But this, I know, yeah, she hasn't updated that. So this actually, well, I don't know which one I'm showing you. I think I'm showing you one that hasn't been updated. But the way that you use it, this isn't the one that you'll find in the group. And we're going to have a load more red little pins soon, because we've got a bunch of them that are just about to qualify. But the way that you use it is when you click on the link, you can see that there's a list here. But the best way to use it is to click on this little search button here. Can you see? And if you click on that and then put in your place, which would be Harlow, so, or wherever you are in the world, well, not in the southern hemisphere right now, but yes, definitely in the States as well. And then you zoom out. All right, there's Harlow. This is the spot here. You'll start to see, look at you. You are dead center in the middle, pretty much, of 4 people. So that one is Lisa Hutchins. This is Marcel. These are 2 that are just about to qualify. Then we've got Becky Taylor Harding, and we've also got Laura, who Gary was talking about too. And these 2 are, Becky is just about to qualify too, and Laura is just coming towards the end of her the last part of her second year, so she's not far off. And you're in Harlow. So if you click on, let's say, Laura, and then use this little button here, all right? There's this little arrow here. If you click on that arrow, it will bring up a map, and then you just put your address in like that for the direction, and it will tell you how far away they are. So Laura is 56 minutes from you, so she's just about an hour, and Becky's near Colchester, so she's not too far. And then we've got Marcel. So you're perfectly placed. You're just south of Stansted. You're perfectly placed, in fact, with our HMB Pro. So you've got some good people around you. My strong advice is that you go down that route, because with the greatest will in the world. Can you see? Oh, you didn't see any of that. Bugger. Damn it.
I'm sure people got the idea.
Hang on. Look, let me show you this, because this is what it clicked through. Sorry. This is what it clicked through to. There you go. So then you can see this is where Laura is. Can you see it now, Gary?
Yeah.
And she's 56 minutes away from you. So that's how you do it. That's how you use that map. Okay, let's stop that sharing. Because with the best will in the world, and as much as they're lovely people, and as much as they're just as confused as everyone else, and it's all very well going, oh, I'll help you now, and we got the shoes off, but you're still going to do the same thing. With the shoes on or off, you're still going to be taking too much hoof wool, trying to make it fit the hoof passing axis, trying to make it look normal. There's no way on God's earth he's going to do what needs to be done, which is get the heels down to the hard sole plane and let that toe grow out, because it'll look ugly. He won't get it, won't understand it, even though it's exactly what your horse needs to start creating foot to cover P3. Not going to get it. And I'm not saying this to say, oh, you know, farriers about. They're not, right? We've got some farriers in the group who are really beginning to learn and are trying to get their head around doing this and getting great results. But it's really difficult when this is what you've been taught for a very, very long time, which is why I'm saying if this person, as nice as he might be, has been the person involved with it, you need to move on. Okay, so unfortunately that's what it is. Gemma says, I'm happy to try and rethink. Yeah. Try and do anything. Yeah.
When you're ready, I found the Sue clip with Alan.
Okay, let's have a look. And this horse was having all of its toes totally chopped off, wasn't it? Was in dire straits. Yeah. There you go. Jeez.
So this is the right fore. But believe the left fore wasn't removed half as much as this. So this is the first one. So that's it just shows how inconsistent the hoof care was. And then we took off the imprint shoes, of which they were going on every 4 weeks for about 18 months, if I remember correctly.
Price wise, what was she paying?
Oh, they're £300 a set every 4 weeks, and plus X-rays to
set of 2 or a set of 4?
Set of 2.
Oh.
The hind, he's bare on the hinds, and he's absolutely fine. He's got really nice hind feet.
Well, laminitis only happens in 1 foot, apparently. I mean, come on, guys. The red flags have been there for a very, very, very long time.
So this is less than 4 weeks after we take the imprints off. We had 2 days of nappies, duct tape, and all of that. Now he's in equine fusion boots. And this was when he went out to his new track. He was just on a bark paddock, just behind the tractor there, actually, where he could.
Look at him, he's walking pretty good.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit on that right fore, but he's still doing well. He actually really quite likes his boots.
He's on a pair of boots, Gary, that don't even come close to just 1 set of imprints.
No, and they'll last for ages. You just watch this. It goes on for a bit, but you'll see. And this has all been done.
Put that track up.
This track has gone up in the last 3 weeks for this horse. These people are Sue is so on it for this horse. It is unreal.
Oh my God, I just love this.
When he did this, my heart went in my mouth because I've seen his feet.
Look at him. He's like, thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. I'm out.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
And
Honestly.
He's also got on the yard there is a cushion.
I bet her heart went in her mouth as well. Go on, sorry. On the yard, there's what?
There's a Cushing's horse that's been keeping Alan company next door, and they're actually going out there together.
Oh my God!
Isn't he awesome?
Yes, that's brilliant.
And his heels were so contracted; they're starting to give already. It's all going in the right direction, but we've got to wait months for the front of that foot to grow down.
Months. We
Months.
can't, and we
Months,
can't.
months and
He has
months.
to be protected.
He does. But he seems all right, doesn't he? And like I said, in the next few days, we're going to be trying him without boots for a time and see how he goes.
Amazing. Fantastic. And what's that track made of then?
It's stone with sand on top on the lighter bits, and then it's wood chip bark on this one. So it's on the sandy bit, it's still quite abrasive, but it's still soft to the touch.
Yeah.
It's not hard stone.
Okay.
And then obviously he's got the bark as well. So really nice. Really
I mean,
nice.
it just goes to show, doesn't it, what you can achieve. And it's not a big area. You can see it's not a big area, but for him, it's movement, it's interest, it's moving around and around, it's keeping him going, keeping that brain and that mind occupied and happy.
And because he hasn't got a shouter out there just yet, the only time that he comes in, he's only been in, I think it was maybe 2 nights in the last 3 weeks, only because the weather has been horrendous. Otherwise, he's out there all the time.
Amazing.
I think
well done, Sue. Well done, Sue.
If it wasn't for Goresworth in the first instance, Sue was following Goresworth and saw everything that Bethan was doing, and then she came to us.
Wonderful. That's
Brilliant.
the teamwork.
That's teamwork.
Oh, look at him.
It's lovely, isn't it? And he is such a delight to work with. When you're doing his feet, he gives you a wash.
Oh God! It's another one saved. Tick. Well done, Gary. Well done, Laura. Well done, you guys. Well done, Sue. Well done, family. Well done, whoever it was who put the track up. Well done. Very, very good indeed. Yes, Gemma, it's all possible, but you got to get the right trim, my darling. So have a think. Yes. Get in touch with one of our pros. Melanie says the farrier is under the vet's advice and the vet is under the farrier's. No one seems to know his advice to follow. That's called the blind leading
the blind.
I have a question for the audience with added advice from Lindsay and Gary. Those who have taken the challenges, do any of you find yourselves avoiding trimming? Maybe for lack of confidence or after a few failed attempts for any reason. What did you do to overcome it? Thanks. I'm going to put my 2 pennies worth in here. The challenges are the foundation, right? They're there to start you off. They're there to say, if you follow our advice when it comes to diet management trimming, you'll be okay. You may not be able to do the trimming, but at least you will know what the foot should look like, what you're trimming to, and you'll damn well know if they're doing it wrong. For those who want to go on and want to trim, it is daunting at times, particularly if you've got a horse that's not going to stand properly or you've got daunting feet. It's easier for people who have feet that are okay, that haven't got a massive amount to change. It's hard for people who have got very difficult feet, like Gemma's. Or what's that horse called? That's Sue's horse? What's he called? Alan. Or Alan, right? It's difficult. And if you're like Sarah Lou, who way back in January saved Squire, who's now gone on to become an HMB pro, and she's doing a marvelous job so far. And it's a journey, but gosh, look where that's taken her. Those challenges are not them. They're not really meant to turn you into a trimmer. They are there as the starting block. And if then you don't want to become a pro, but you want to learn more, then of course you can come and have extra tuition with us. And pretty much very, very soon, we're going to be putting up lists of our HMB pros who are qualified, who are prepared to take on consultations. And which will be the price of effectively around about the price of a trim. And I would encourage you, wherever you are in the world, if you are trying to trim, and if you're trying to trim, or you just need more help, and because you have got
Help,
a professional,
support.
yeah, then I would encourage you to take up those consultations with our pros, because it will be a massive help for you.
And those consultations can be pictures, feedback. What can be really helpful, actually, once you've done the challenge and you're willing, the willingness and the ability to do the trimming is the biggest part. If you've got the willingness and the ability and a decent Wi-Fi connection with the horses, at least one of us can be there with you whilst you're doing it. That will build your confidence. That's another way out. And
It's massive, that, isn't it, Gary? It's so good. It works better than we could ever have imagined. It's like us being in the room.
It is. And it might be that we're only there for 1 foot, and it might take you an hour, but everything that you get from doing that 1 foot, you can then go on and put that in play for the other 3. And you build on that. That's exactly how we do it with our students.
Yeah.
Exactly the same way.
So don't feel alone.
Don't feel alone.
We've still got support for you.
Yeah.
We're still here. We're not gonna leave you.
And obviously the school was in its infancy up until, in a minute, like in the next week or 2, it was only Lindsay and I that was doing the online consultations. Now there's going to be many more, and
that's right. Ash is already doing them, and then we've got a bunch of others. They're not all going to want to do it, but a lot of them will, and yeah, it's just going to transform.
I think the only thing that we have to say, though, is if you want that kind of support, it's really only going to work if you've done the 15 and the 10-day challenge first.
Yeah, we are going to say
that would be wrong.
We're going to say to all our pros, there's no way they're going to give trimming advice unless you've done the 15 and 10-day challenges. They're quite happy to go on a consultation, talk to you about diet and management. But if you want trimming advice, you want foot trimming advice, then obviously foot trimming advice, then you have to have done the challenges, because otherwise they're just repeating everything that you're going to learn, and there's going to be so much more that they can't just get across to you in 1 session, or even 2 or 3 sessions. And you need to be at a standing start. So I would encourage you all to get on those challenges. And Gemma, if you can get on a challenge, that's what I would encourage. What boots would you recommend as ones that are quick to get on as she can't? Equine Fusion would definitely be our recommendation.
They're not always the easiest to put on, but when she's this uncomfortable, you just go bigger size. It doesn't matter.
Well, they open right out, the Equine Fusion, so they can just slip on. I wouldn't go for anything that's fiddly. You've got to get on. You want a full cover boot. And with the Equine Fusions, because they sort of open up like this, easy to get in. I was told recently that Raven would need rehabilitation of her hoof capsule in time, as trimming to HSP will collapse her heel bulbs and deform her cordillera of the foot. Will it indeed?
That's not quite what I saw when I saw your horse running around the paddock. And, what a load of rubbish.
What a load of crap. She refers to the anatomical trim. Oh
yeah.
Scratch my eyes out. Which leaves space for heel. I stood my ground. Please, can you comment? I've been doing research to disprove this for myself, but would love your comment. I have a comment for that. It's bollocks.
The anatomical trim. What about that title says following Mother Nature's blueprint?
Don't get me on it.
It's just poppycock. You said bollocks. I can say bollocks.
Don't get me on it.
Yeah. No more ranting. No more ranting.
Mother Nature's constants.
The proof is in the pudding. And the hoof is so predictable. It's
Okay.
so predictable.
There is something I'm going to say, right?
We've missed you, Linz. We've missed you.
I'm going to say it anyway. Right. Some people call it the live soul. Trimming down to the live soul. Some people call it the hard soul plane. That's us. I'm talking to a biologist here. A biologist who understands the skin system, which the hoof capsule is part of that. And if you're going to call it the live soul, why don't you call it the live hoof wall? Right? Because they're both basically the same things happening. You've got basal cells in the epithelial layer that are creating these keratinized cells, right? They've got organelles, they've got a nucleus in there when they're first created. Do you remember when we've talked about in the past with going to the amusement arcade, one of my favorite little arcade games, and you put the little pennies down, the 2p's, and they'd hit, and there's all these little shelves, and they move forward, don't they, like this, pushing them on. Right, that's what's happening with the cells. Okay, they're created up at the top layer, the coronary band, or in the corium or the epithelial layer on the soul, right underneath that lovely velvety layer, right underneath P3. And these cells get pushed further and further away from their epithelial layer, right, from where they were born, if you want to say it like that. And as they get pushed further and further away, like the skin cells in our body, they begin to what we call granulate. They become what we call corneocytes. So what happens to them is they leave. Gary's smiling. What happens is they lose their organelles. They lose their nucleus. So they've not got a brain for the cell anymore. It's gone because now they're turning into these hard little nuggets of keratinized fibrous little cells, but they aren't cells as we know them anymore. They've lost all that DNA, etc. They're just these cellular, what were cells with all of the organelles and nucleus, but they haven't got that now. They're full of keratin, and they're there to stop abrasion, to stop water getting in, chemicals getting in, it being worn away. It's an incredible design, and it's the same on our skin too, right? But when it gets to when all that is just gets too flaky, like our skin, you know when you get really dry skin sometimes, and you just have to moisturize, or you get a pumice stone like my mum used to do, and had it on the side of the bath, and you scrub her heels. I've never done that in my life. And because you're getting rid of sort of, we call it dead skin, but in actual fact, by the time it's got to the surface, and it's the same in the hoof wall, by the time it's got down to the ground surface, there's nothing live about the cells. Now, I have to be careful here because I don't want to call it dead. So it's a really weird thing that we're talking about, because we know that there's feedback. We know that the papillae that are nourishing that epithelial layer, that are nourishing those basal cells, there's communication going on between them. We know that now. We know that there's chemical communication going on between them, and that growth can change the growth rate. So those little shelves can slow down. So we know that there's feedback happening from bottom to top, and it's the same in the soul too. We know that because it can go into hyperkeratinosis, where we can get big calluses in places that we shouldn't have it, when we take the hoof wall away and we force the soul to become the pillar of support. So with that trim that you just mentioned, or the people that you've just mentioned there, they talk about a live soul, and they talk about creating this live soul, and it's like, what are you talking about exactly? It's a hard soul. It's a hard soul plane, and it's a waxy, tough, compacted part of the soul, which is a glassy kind of, well, not so much glassy, but a kind of waxy looking layer. But you've also got to have a very good understanding of the anatomy of the foot, the coronary band, where the navicular bone is, where P3 is, where P2 is. All of those things all come part and parcel with that. Where the frog should be, where the bars end, and that helps you understand where the heels are. The second that you start leaving the heels above the hard sole plane, ask them, Aston. Say, how much would you like me to leave above that live sole? You're building live sole. No. It's a hard sole plane, right? And how much would you like me to leave above it? Now, the confusion is when you get compaction. Again, that's when you need to be more experienced at seeing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of normal looking feet. You know where you're going with the compaction. But when they start saying you're ignoring that hard sole plane and you have to build above it, it's just poppycock. Because it underruns. And they talk about if the heel's underrun, they're going to drag the rest of the foot with it. This just, what? The hoof just grows. It just, little shelves don't, they slow down, but just keeps on moving and growing at an angle. And the heels will grow underrun. We shorten the surface area, especially if we start chopping off the toes, you can shorten it even more. Those bars inevitably, when you leave heels above the hard sole plane, the bars inevitably jump up as well. It's all wrong. So ignore it. And when they say you've got to do that, you just say, okay, would you like to tell me definitively exactly how much those heels should be left above that hard sole plane? Are you telling me you don't trust the horse? You don't trust the hard sole plane in the horse? You don't trust it? We're going to trust you instead, because you've been around for 55 million years on, with Mother Nature as she designed the hoof. You know better. Bollocks. Thanks, says Dawn. I will get him some, and if I can be advised on dosage and how best to give it to him, that would be lovely. He's out 24/7. All I want for him is to be comfortable riding in secondary. He and Woody are so happy living together. Thank you, but it's okay, Dawn. Just give him time now. I'm not saying you'll never be able to ride him again. You might actually, but just he's been having big changes in those hocks, hasn't he? And I'm so glad you ended up having them x-rayed. Sarah says, I can't wait to see my tag on that map. I think you're on the map, but not that one. You are on a map. I'm pretty sure Kate has updated it. So you're on there. Your little blue dot. But you won't see it in the Phoenix group.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Harding. That's it. I want to call you Taylor Swift. Can't help it. It just keeps tripping on my tongue. Becky Taylor Swift. Thank you all. I will look to have one of them out. I have briefly spoken to Lisa. She was recommended by a friend. Good. Lisa, Laura, any of them. Just, they're all in that. I think Laura's probably the closest, but doesn't matter. One of them. Tula. Hello, Tula. What did you miss?
No
God
idea.
knows. You'll have to go back and have a look. You won't regret switching, says Sarah. Love Alan. Love Alan.
He is. He's amazing horse.
Trisha, after I did the 3-day workshop, I took over trimming my herd. I wasn't at all experienced then, but I knew I could do a better job than the people who were trimming my horses. I knew they were leaving the heels high and taking the toes back, so I took control, and it changed my life. And now Becky is an admin of the Phoenix group, and she's also about to qualify as a fully fledged HMB pro. And it's one of the most I'm not going to get emotional. It's one of the most heartwarming things. It's just making me feel a bit emotional. Honestly, Trisha, watching somebody who had no confidence in herself, didn't believe that she could ever possibly do her own horse's feet, let alone go and help other people. Watching her grow over the last, what's it been, Gary? 3 years, 3.5 years, 4 years? I don't know. is one of the most beautiful things ever. And Becky's just one of many, and she's incredible. They all are. And the quality of our prose is beyond anything. But you know what it is? It comes from them. We teach them, but it comes from here, from within. So we're very proud of you, Becky. We love you, girl. Sarah says, I had that Trisha in the beginning. It's the apprehension of maybe getting it wrong. I just told myself I was going to remove some soul. Then I'd tell myself, cool, now I'll nip it, etc. So it's okay. We support you. I broke it down into small sections and it made it easier to complete the trim without overloading myself every time. By the time I had gone through each section, before I knew it, I'd completed the whole trim in one. And at the beginning we did a VIP, so that pushed her forward again. It's always good to do a VIP, or which is the added one extra after the 10-day, or you can just do a consultation. I've also done the challenge, and yes, it's still daunting, but I'm going for it and seeing positive changes. I'm going to Aberdeen to learn firsthand from Lindsay, Gary, and Asha and the rest of the team. Dawn says both challenges are so important. I can't recommend them enough. Totally, thank you. Aston says it looks hugely like PPT. It's not, doesn't look hugely like PPT.
It is. It is a prime example of.
Yes. It's PPT.
Take out their name, put in PPT.
That's right. Any other trim that's not some other name? PPT.
PPT.
I'm so glad you recognise the name and your response is comforting. Don't listen. I was locking up the chat room and could hear you on loudspeaker saying my comment is falling. See your face without seeing the screen. Sorry, I shouldn't use bad words like that's naughty. Gemma, just had to say I'm watching this in bed with my husband who is pretending not to listen. Hello, husband. But he loves the bollock comments and the time to change. He said you've nothing to lose, so phone call tomorrow to reach out and get a consultation booked. But thank you all. I already feel the shoes off was a step in the right direction. It was.
Sure.
That's right. Now to educate myself with the challenges and to get her feeding right. Honestly, Gemma, it's going to be a wonderful story and a wonderful journey to watch you, because looking at those x-rays at the moment, without going back, and I know we had shoes on, so we couldn't see the tip of P3, but doesn't look like we're in a poor situation. It looks like your horse is okay, but we need to pull it back now before it gets worse. Get her off the tip. Okay. And I'm glad your husband's enjoying the show. Go, Gemma. You've got this. Amazing, Gemma. We're all here to support you all the way. Go for it, Gemma, says Dawn. Melanie says, go, Gemma. You will not look back. Take the next step for your pony's recovery. Absolutely. It's taken from March, my first trim, to the last, I'd say 3 to 4 trims to be confident in addressing Squire's hinds compaction. He has beautiful little hinds now. Hopefully that's the end of the bruising. It's amazing how you learn to see what you see. It's true. Very good. Thank you, Sarah. My little blue dot floating in the sea. I know. Little blue dot on the island of Ree floating in the sea. Thank you, Lindsay. Just want to move to France and UK and only hang out with you guys. I want to come to South Africa.
That would be nice.
Can we get it sorted, Aston? We'd love to come. You're absolutely right. Thank you. It's been an incredible journey and I've learned so much and grown so much. Thank you so much for your support every second of the way. When I was going through Stansted security yesterday, Tim and I would, every time now, Tim and I were like, oh, this is where Becky works. Wish she was here now. Angela Mill says, yay, Gemma. There we go. An hour and 25 minutes later.
That's because we had the first half an hour of fun and frolics.
Hartley Hare.
And oh God, what was the pig called? God, it's gonna bug me. Right. And the pig. I'm gonna go and have to look him up. But yeah, go. No, don't go and watch Hartley Hare. Go and look at the Milky Bar Kid and think of Gary. That's what you need to do. You did miss me. Right. Lovely. Thank you all for tuning in. We've had such fun, as we always do. It's great to be back. It feels good
Was it
to be
Pipkins?
back. Huh?
Was it Pipkins?
Yeah. Pipkins.
Was it Pipkins the pig?
No, he was. No, I don't think he was called Pipkin.
Oh, right,
Oh.
okay.
The thing was called Pipkins. I don't think he
All
was
right,
called
okay.
Pipkin. I can't remember. Anyway, thanks for a fun and informative live, guys. You're welcome. We'll see you tomorrow night. Are we on tomorrow night? I think we are, aren't we? I don't think we've got anything. Yeah, we're on tomorrow night. We'll see you then.
Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye now.